Hey folks, it's Chad again with Airstream at Greensboro, and I've got another walk around I want to do. This is a little bit of a different floor plan that I've done pretty much on my channel so far, because it's not as popular of a floor plan, but it's one that I really like. This is going to be the 2023 International 25 RB, so rear bed. It seems to be that the more popular layout as far as the RB and FB is going to be the FB. So this one is actually going to put the living area to the front of the coach, the bedroom. So RB is going to be in the rear of the coach, so it's a rear bed. And this is going to be like, which one do I want? It just depends on how you camp mostly. Now, as far as specifications for this, if you'll go down to the description, there's going to be a link to a web page that has all the specifications for this RV, links, weights, bed sizes, all that kind of stuff. So a little bit easier than trying to list those things on the video. So let's jump into this one. If you don't know, my name is Chad Watson, Airstream of Greensboro. If you have any questions about this one or any other Airstream, be sure to reach out. Let's jump into a walk around. Okay, so with the RB, as I mentioned, your bed is going to be back, the living space is going to be in the front. And one of the things that I really like about the RB is going to be some extra outside storage. So with that bedroom being in the back, you're actually gaining a little bit more outside storage up here in the front that you don't get in the front bed. So this is essentially under the bench. And I'll show you on the inside, but it's under the dinette there. But you're also going to have the storage in the back. And this is a twin bed model, so you can't get this as a queen bed. You can get it as a twin bed. Now, if you're used to that storage, seeing storage up here in the front, you're not going to have that storage there because the dinette is on the other side of the wall there. Now, you do have your battery storage there. You can put two batteries into that. Now, the Airstreams don't come with batteries, so you'll pick them as far as which ones you want once you get to the factory, or to the dealership, not to the factory. Now, the International is going to come with the rock guards and the solar guards as standard. The window awnings is still optional on the International, so this one is equipped with window awnings. It also has solar, and you can kind of see that up there. So it's going to be 3 100-watt panels, and this one's option with the 2 ACs. On the 25 foot, it is an option to get 2 ACs. I usually recommend it just simply because if you're in a really hot climate, you're going to appreciate that you have 2 ACs. But also when it comes to reselling, selling the RV, the resale value is going to be quite a bit better with 2 ACs as well. And then you are going to have 2 30-pound tanks hidden inside that really nice cover, and your electric tongue jack there. And then moving down the side here, you do have, with the International, you're going to bump up to the electric powered zip-tie awning. Really nice awning, very easy to use, just a few buttons, and pretty much it's automatic. Once you hit extend, it will extend, and you can stop it if you want to. Just hit that button again, and when you're ready to retract it, same thing, just hit the retract button and it goes back. And you are able to tilt that awning to the front and then to the back if so desired. And then you have the Dexter axles with the Dexter brakes and Goodyear tires there. And if you didn't know, the tires that come on this are the ST225 75R15s, and they are Goodyear endurance tires with the Dexter axles. Fantastic axle. If you don't know much about that, just kind of do a little bit of research, but these do come with the dampers as well. You can see that there. And then the brakes are auto adjusting, so you don't have to do really anything with those. You have your freshwater inlet there, it's gravity fed, and then that's over your stove, and it does vent to the outside. I'll show that when we get to the inside. And the one thing that I'm not a super fan of with the RB is they place the furnace behind the door when the door is open. So that's something you're going to have to think about when you're winter camping or you're camping in a colder climate. I don't think it would be a good idea to let that exhaust onto the back of the door or front of the door. And then with the twin bed, just like on the FB that you've probably seen, I have a few videos that feature the front bed. You're going to have that additional outside storage, and that gives you first the storage on this side. So a little bit of storage there, resembles that front section that I showed you. And then your bigger storage is going to be off the back. And with it being the RB, I'm going to open this here. It's actually easier to get to that storage simply because there's not a, there's not propane tanks in the way. And the ton jack is not in the way. This is open. You can easily get to that storage when you're camping. Now with this setup, if you're backing into your space most of the time, and really, I mean, the majority of your camping spots are going to be related to backing into, and that's where the RB becomes important. Is if you know, like, hey, we for the most part we camp in campgrounds, we predominantly back into the campground, and we're backing up to another RV, and we want the camping living quarters, so the space where you're going to set the dinette, the kitchen, those types of things, to be facing the road and not facing our neighbor that's behind us. The RB is the one that you want to get, because then your bed area where you sleep is going to be facing the other camper. And I think for a lot of folks, that is more desirable, because that is the campsites that you get mostly. Now, if you're really like I want the prime space, I want the 10%, I want to be facing the ocean, well, that's where the FB comes in, and that's why people will get the FB. And then you have that additional storage that's on this side, right there. And there's a light in there. This is the cap. I don't know how often I show this. This cap goes onto your smart plug there, just to help cap it off and keep dust out of it. Kind of a cool feature, cool little thing that smart plug sends with it. Now, all of those doors, excuse me, they're lockable. They're insulated. And if you notice, when I close that, it actually pulls the door towards the sill, so they're sealed very well. And with your Airstreams, your underbelly is all insulated and enclosed. They do use aluminum to do that. And then your roof is also aluminum, even though it's painted different. It's painted white. That color is simply to help push some of the solar rays, the solar heat off of the roof there, kind of reflects it off. You'd have a tankless hot water heater here. There's not too much that you need to do with a tankless hot water heater. It's on demand, so it's going to kind of do everything for you. It automatically turns on. Mainly just want to set the temperature with this, and to the desired temperature, as this is the temperature that I want to take a shower in, and then just turn the hot water on. And then you have your hot and cold shower there, just like you have on most all of your Airstreams. You've got a city fill that it does have the pressure regulator on it. You have a black tank flush there, and those are labeled really well. Love that Airstream does that. With this being a 2 AC unit, it's going to be a 50 amp. So you'll have a 50 amp smart plug, and it tells you right there on top if it's 50 or 30. And you can really tell easily just by the size of the cable. The cable is almost double the size when you go from a 30 amp to a 50 amp. And then that top, or the little plug above, is going to be your campsite cable TV, and they give you a second one to be able to add a satellite as well. So a ground satellite, give you the ability to have satellite and camp cable go in. Moving to the inside, as we kind of step in, I want to point out, you probably noticed this already, but the door going into the International is going to be on the front. That is part of the RB floor plan. It's going to move your entrance door to the front of the coach, which is also going to affect where you're entering and exiting your RV when you're camping. And if it's on the back, that's the FB, you're going to be entering and exiting in that section, and then the front, you're going to be obviously the front. And if you're backed into a campsite, you can imagine the road is going to be there. You're coming out right at the road. So as we enter in, you're going to find the awning controls there, and it's simply open, close, and then tilt front, tilt rear. It will tell you whether it's open or closed. And then there's an on and off switch, which is just nice to keep it from doing anything when you're not using it. And then moving into the International, you'll see just very similar to the 25 FB, the 25 RB is basically the same floor plan, reversed. So you've got your really nice sitting area, dinette area. Of course, the dinette does turn into a bed. For the size of that, check out the website that gives you the actual size of the dinette bed. And then you do have the pull out right there. You move those cushions down and making another smaller bed right there. If you option the desk option that you can do, I know you can do it on the FB. I'm guessing you can do it on the RB. I have to double check that. But if it is available on the RB, and I'll put on here if it's available or not, it basically takes that cushion. If you're doing the desk on the FB, which I know you can do the FB, it's essentially this cushion, this seat here goes away and becomes a desk. The pillows do come from Airstream. So when you buy international, you are going to get those pillows. That window opens and the center window opens as far as this front section. And then you do have the fantastic fan above and a skylight there as well, which we have closed. The international is going to give you, I think, kind of classic Airstream to me with the sliding plexiglass doors. These are lit, and there's simply a light switch for these lights here. There's not any auto anything as far as that goes. And then you have all of your plugins for your entertainment here. There's not going to be a DVD player here, which we saw previously. There'd be a DVD, Blu-ray type player. The 2023 model and going forward is not going to have that, simply because people don't really use DVD players anymore. We're kind of moving more towards a streaming country, so they're giving you an HDMI and a USB plug-in, as well as an inverted circuit that you can plug into to plug in things like Apple TVs, Fire TVs, Rokus, those types of things. So that's there. And then you have your JL Audio radio. That's right here. Fantastic radio, Bluetooth, FM, AM, USB. And there is actually an aux on the back of that as well. That sounds good. It sounds really good too. It does come with really nice speakers below. Right there's the other one, and then there's two speakers in the front. Just to give you an idea of the storage on this side as well. And then with the international, you're also going to get, it's going to have an upgraded cabinet front, and that's something that you'll notice as you move up the line. So you go from Flying Cloud up to international to Globetrotter. Things change, like your countertops, your cabinet fronts, your doors to your cabinets. All of that's going to continue to upgrade all the way up to the classic. Some nice hangers here. You've got a really nice residential faucet that does come out, which is nice. You're going to have an undermounted stainless steel sink with a solid surface countertop. So this is a Korean style countertop. I don't think it's actually made by Korean. I will say that's heavy, so something to know. You can see the furnace outlet there. There's some additional power right there, and then you do have power up here as well for your counter space. And then your storage underneath, you're going to find your trash can there, and then some storage, both kind of double shelf there. Your furnace is tucked back there, so there's not, since the furnace is right back in here, there's not any storage right there. And then, compared to the Flying Cloud, you're going to see a nicer front for your laminate, and you're going to see upgraded hardware for all of your doors. A really nice kind of, I don't know, just feels quality, feels sturdy, feels like it's a solid piece of metal. I'm assuming that it is. You have your port windows. It does have the blind that pulls down. And then this is kind of your control center. So you've got your sea level. It does give you percentage. You've got a power plug there. And then side by side, which I like this arrangement, your solar charge controller, which is a Victron. And then your progressive dynamic 1000-watt inverter control is there. And with the 2023 model year, your TVs, there's a TV there and a TV in the back. Those are 12-volt TVs, so your plug is not actually being used by the TV, because this is being connected essentially directly to the battery. So that 1000-watt inverter is really, you're able to use that for anything that you want to use it for. Then you have the optional convection microwave, which also is an air fryer. I'll open that for you. Really nice microwave. You'll see the stainless steel on the inside. That's one giveaway to know whether or not it's a convection microwave. And then, of course, this actually says convection microwave on it. And then your 3-burner stovetop, very nice stovetop. Also has the little lights that you can light everything up. And then that's that vent that I was talking about. That does vent to the outside. It's one of the nicer exhaust vents that I've seen. It does have a light on it. And then you are going to have storage above here, the sliding doors. One thing I would love to see, and I guess this would be easy to customize, but I would just love to see Airstream add some shelves in here to make that space a little bit easier to use. I suspect there's something out there that, you know, you're able to use on your own, but, or, you know, customize that on your own, but it would be cool to see that. And then you are going to have the 12-volt refrigerator. Open that so you can see it. And with it being 12 volt, there's not any propane stuff in there. So you're going to get a deeper, more usable refrigerator versus the propane, the old school propane refrigerator. There's a little bit of storage above. Again, this does not have a shock on it, so when you open it, be prepared for it to slam back down. You've got a little bit of cereal storage. Get a couple of cereal boxes in there. And then similar to the 25 FB, the 25 RB is going to get the really cool pantry pull out. The shelves are adjustable. And then it does lock in place. You'll push that button to open that. And I already mentioned the 12 volt TV. Now this doesn't have the arm on it where you can take this off and you can move it out. But that is an upgrade that would be fairly easy to do. There's a little bit of room here on cable to be able to move that around. Now moving to the center of the coach. So this is a split bath, which is a very popular bathroom set up for Airstream. When you first step in, of course, you have the curtain. Now this material is upgraded versus the Flying Cloud. To pull across, that curtain will come across to make this more of an ensuite. You have a small wardrobe here. There's a light right there for that wardrobe, and a good bit of storage underneath. And then a storage shelf there. On the other side, you're going to have the really nice port window, very Airstream-esque. And then the bathroom, turn the lights on. And then a very nice bathroom. This bathroom is larger versus the FB. So if you're like, I really, really want a bigger bathroom, and that's a big part of your decision as far as which one you want, then the RB is going to be one that you should consider. I'm going to sit down, flip this around, and then sit down on the toilet for you. So one of the things that I immediately notice about the RB is the amount of room that there actually is in the bathroom. And so as far as sitting down, I've got room for my legs, room for my knees. Now the toilet paper holder is actually in a much better space. Hopefully that's translating well with me hand holding the camera. But with the FB, it's kind of tucked up underneath, and it's really hard to get to. You can actually get to this. You have to move your leg to open it and close it. But this is significantly more roomier. I could actually shut the door and I'd be comfortable in here. So if the bathroom throne situation is important to you, then I would definitely recommend checking out the RB, because you're getting a little bit larger bathroom versus the FB. I'm going to flip back around so we can continue looking at the bathroom. You have a really nice shelf up here. Of course, you have a towel rack there. There's a nice little medicine cabinet that is right there, and that's fairly deep, deeper than a normal medicine cabinet. And then you've got some sliding door storage there, as well as the door that has the toilet paper holder on it. There's some storage right there. And then you have this really nice curved storage that's underneath the sink, and it's just a fantastic look. Sure of how good that translates over to video. This is a solid wood bent door that's still solid, even though it's got a bend to it, and it just fits perfect. You can tell it's some Airstream quality. And then you've got a surface mounted stainless steel sink here with a Formica countertop. Now if you want countertops that are also solid surface, the Globetrotter is where you're going to see that first on the Airstreams. That's going to be your control for your tankless hot water heater, and you do have some power. There's a small makeup mirror right there, and a little towel holder. And then moving to the other side, and I didn't mention this, but you do have an exhaust vent for just the restroom area. And moving to the other side, you're going to have the split bath. the shower part of your split bath. And this is very similar to the other bathrooms. You have an exhaust up front too, but you are going to have a slightly larger shower area. I'm going to switch back around again just so I can step in. A little bit more height for some reason. I'm not sure why. And it's probably about the same. So 5'10", a couple of inches there if you're wondering what it would look like if you're taller than 5'10". You can kind of get an idea of that too. There is plenty of room in here for me. I could shut the door. It's going to be a little tight, but there's enough room, and I would say probably more room. It feels like it's a little bit bigger than the FB. The seat is definitely bigger, but you do have the ability to take the shower head off and move it around, and that's probably going to be the easiest way to take a shower in any of these types of RVs, is just having the ability to move that around. And it does have an on-off switch to take what we call an RV shower. Also probably more known as a military shower. And there is a step right there. You can kind of see the height of that. I'll put my leg there just to give you an idea. Good, probably 5 inches of a step up. But that does create a little bit of a shower kind of bath feel to keep water in there. And then you can see how large the seat is versus if you look at the Flying Cloud. You can take a look at the Flying Cloud as well to see, I mean the not Flying Cloud, the FB, to see the difference. I think the FB is just a little bit of a corner shower, and then you do have a corner seat, excuse me, and you do have a string that pulls across there that will be nice for things like your bathing suits. Not necessarily going to work good for a heavy thing like a towel, but you know, wash rag, a bathing suit, those types of things. That works well for. And then this is the twin bed. If you had the queen option, it would be east to west queen bed. With the twin bed, they're going to go north south. You do get quite a bit more room. As you can see, I can walk right in here and turn around. And if I had a camera person that was videoing me, which I do not currently have that option yet. I'd love to have that option. One day I will find someone who can video me as opposed to me just videoing what I'm seeing. But with the twin bed, excuse me, you have a lot more usable space. I found a lot of my customers will start out interested in the queen bed, and then once they see a twin bed in person, they switch to a twin bed. That window opens, the center window opens, and then that window opens, so you can get some good air through the space. For the bed measurements, 34 by 80, but you can check out the website for the specifications. Just click that link below. There is some storage underneath on both sides, right there, and then there. So you're going to split that storage. Half of that's outside, half of it's inside. And then on the 25-foot, you're going to have one additional wardrobe, which is tucked into this front corner. You can take those shelves out, make that a wardrobe, or leave those shelves in. And then on the opposite side, you'll find your TV with your light controls below. Again, 12-volt TV, so you don't have to worry about power. This does have the arm on it, so you can move the TV around. And then you've got your HVAC controls. That's going to control both your ACs, your heat pump, and your furnace. Remember, these are heat pump equipped. And then you have the power that is right here for your 110 devices, and then there is USB power right there, and I think it's on both sides. Yep, on both sides you got USB power there, and you've got a really nice storage drawer here. Now there's just a couple of screws that hold this down, hold that nightstand down. So if you wanted to take that out, there's some videos out there, folks have taken that out and then made this into a large like king bed. You could do that, and if you really wanted to have, you know, kind of both options, that is an option you can do aftermarket. It's not something that Airstream can do. It's also not something our dealership would do for you. But there are folks who have done some DIY projects to make that happen. And of course, you've got that little bit of storage above with the really cool sliding plexiglass doors, and then the lights above. And as far as the lights go, it's just the light switch right here. So if I wanted to turn those off and on, I can turn those off and on here. On the Globetrotter and the Classic and Pottery Barn, you're gonna have you'll actually have switches behind those doors, so those lights will turn on automatically. if you've made it to this point of the video, first of all, I just want to say thank you, as well as that I appreciate everyone who has subscribed and liked, and everyone who is watching. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or you'd like to see the specifications for this one, if you go into the description, there'll be a link that says specifications. Also going to have some photos, the floor plan, and then of course all the dimensions and things that you might have there. If you need some buying help with Airstream, I would love to be the person to help you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. My contact information and website is also in the description. Other than that, thanks for watching. Hope you're having a great day, and hopefully we'll talk soon. Thanks. Bye.